Hey guys, it's Karen from Waterfall Acrylics. Welcome to my paint pouring channel. Due to a death in the family, I only have one video in editing, and the one you're about to see is about 3 months old. I'll be taking a break for the next 10 days or so. I hope you understand. So the video you're about to see, I filmed for my Patreon fam about 3 months ago, and it's actually a resin hack and one of the ways, fun little ways you can do to fix a piece of art that has yellowed. Hopefully it's a fun little 20-minute video, and I'll have another one up that's in editing now in a few days, and hopefully that'll hold you over for the next 10 days or so. Thanks for understanding. Let me get you down on the canvas. Take care, guys.
Hello, my patron friends. It's Karen. Welcome to my first official video. I thought I would start off with a resin hack for those that use resin as a top coat. What you're looking here is Mr. Poodle Doo's here. He's about, I don't know why it's a he, it just is, maybe because it's blue. He is about 7 years old. Back when I was first starting out, the original pour here is Floetrol and paint, and I turned it into a poodle. We'll get into different ways to do that later in future videos, but right now I turned him into a poodle and then resined this 16 by 20 cradle wood board. Now on camera here, oops, low battery, go away. On camera here, it doesn't look all that bad, right? It's a nice little painting. I've had it a long time, never had the heart to sell it. But look what happens, because I think this was using the Envirotex Light resin, the cheap stuff you get at Michael's that yellows really badly. And so when you look at Mr. Poodle's here, next to something with my KS resin, I had to go and find something that had white in it. White, wow, does that really make it look yellow now, right? Like really bad. And I take it away, and again, it's not that bad. But holy cow, really, really yellow. So how can we fix that? You really can't remove it. Sanding doesn't work because it's just harmed, and it wasn't even hung in sunlight. Literally, it was just crappy resin. So I'm going to show you how one of my tricks to fixing this is to doodle over it. You'll see a second trick in a future video as well. But for now, down here at the bottom, I have started my doodles. I'm hoping that shows up. And all I'm using is a Posca pen, a white Uniposca pen here, and I'm just drawing on it in white. And what's kind of cool is that the yellow underneath of it actually adds to the piece, because it gives like a 3D dimension look. And you can do any doodle you want, geometric patterns, squiggle lines, whatever you want. I'm fond of circles. I could draw circles all day long. So I'm just gonna fill this whole thing with circles. I'm gonna get you down a little closer. And I see a spot right over here where it kind of got smudged. That happens a lot to me when I forget that I'm left-handed. You can already see white on the side of my hand. And then I smudge it, then I'm like, oh yeah, you gotta rotate the canvas, Karen. When that happens, you just take, this is just a napkin actually, a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. And this is really great because if you can do your whole design and not really worry, because it reminds me of a dry erase board. You're like, you don't like an area? You just rub it clean. Now, you can't wait too long because the markers do set up. If I would wait until the next day or something, it would be a lot harder to remove, and you would see faint stains from the Posca pen on top of your resin. So if you make a boo-boo, just be sure to get to it within an hour or two of drawing. So I'm going to get the camera down for a second. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I'll come back at the end, but I'll just drop you down for a sec and show you what I'm doing up close. I like to put my circles in random spots, so some of them are whole, and then the rest can go up close, because you have to stop and put lines under and over other lines for a little bit of a greater 3D effect. I find this really relaxing. Now, I'm going to do the whole thing, not on camera, but I'm going to complete this evening. And if I don't like the way it looks, I'll be able to wipe it clean. Now, say you're picky pants like me, and you like it tonight, and then tomorrow, you're like, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure if I like it or not. Well, I will have another hack for you to do to fix that mistake as well. So this is a pretty fail-safe, low-risk hack that you can do on your yellowed pieces, or even if it's not yellowed and you just want to create some depth. I've been collecting Posca pens as of late and probably have 15 or 20 by now. But the funny thing is, I keep coming back to the white. I just like the clean look of it for this type of thing. And oh my gosh, just so much fun. Let's go out wide a second. I like this shape. I'm just going like a corkscrew, and I usually go about 3 times. Some of them have 4, some of the larger ones. Make sure I don't have any blank spots. 1, 2, 3. We'll make a big one right here. And go 4, like that. Just to have different sizes. Put a big one over here as well. I think you get the idea, right? So, whoa, that's a big one. Got 2 big ones side by side. Yeah, I'm going to carry on with this little project. Hopefully my hand isn't in the way, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Let me see if I can drop you down a little bit closer to see without the shadow in my hand. It's hard because it's, you know, white on off white. And can you guys see that? Am I jiggling the camera too much? Let me pop the camera off. And come over here where there's no... Oh, it's hard to get it. Oh, there we go. So you can see how it looks raised off of the substrate there. This might look really cool. So I will come back when this is all completed and we'll take a look at the entire painting. Be right back. All right, guys, so Mr. Doodles has been doodled. I did the entire thing with my Posca pen, and a couple interesting things happened. One is there are some spots where the Posca pen dried whiter than others, and at first I was upset about it, but I kind of grown to love it. I think the whole thing just has like, it reminds me of my grandma's lace tablecloths, like in the best way. I think it did totally save this painting. People will be asking me and wondering, like, how did you get the two colors? Why does it look so 3D? So when I turn it on angle, because it creates little shadows everywhere and just looks super, super cool. I was very careful. It took me 4 days to do this, by the way. I was super careful in, you know, having the circles on top and then underneath, and you know, just to help give it some more depth. And now we're going to do the last step. So I'm hoping this shows up. I've outlined a part of Mr. Doodle's back, right, where's my finger? Right here. And what that does is make him look like he is sunk into the painting. It really gives a lot of dimension. And hopefully you can see the difference between his back and his tail, and then up here on his shoulder. See how he looks kind of flat, but here he has a little more depth. It's a really great optical illusion. So what I'm gonna do now is lie him flat and then pick a couple different markers to see what's going to look best as his outline. And then probably I'm gonna re-sand the sides. I think I want them to be cleaned up a little better, and then I'm gonna frame him and put him up for sale because he looks amazing. I'm like really, really happy with this project. Let me get you down. All right, I know this is an unusual angle, but I really want you to just, you don't need to see the whole thing. I just wanna see, make sure you guys can see this part as I test out some markers. So I pulled out a couple different colors. I have a Liquitex paint marker, an acrylic paint marker in gray, which might be a nice contrast. And I also grabbed a Q-tip with some isopropyl alcohol dipped in there so I can wipe it off if we hate it. So we're just gonna start with this gray color, and I'm just gonna outline this little top part of his head. Just like this. And then I'm gonna step back and see if I like it. It's not bad. Gosh, can you guys even see that? Maybe I do around his nose so you can see better. Give it a shake. Take a, it's like a piece of paper here and press on it. So that's the color. It's a sparkly, warm gray. And let me just go around his nose a little bit and see if you can see it. If you can see the outline back. Yeah, you can tell, right? It just gives more definition. That is not a bad color. So I'm gonna keep that one out. I'm gonna go ahead and erase it though, and just kind of follow my line and take that out a second. And this won't hurt the resin or the poodle or anything. And it just kind of lifts right off. So clean that off there before it dries. Oh, just missed a spot. And then I have a Posca pen, so acrylic paint marker. This is emerald green. And I thought that might be interesting for a pop of color. It looks like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. There is a little bit of blue-green in him. But let me just do a line of that and see if we like the blue-green. And I do not. That's a no for me. Too much of a contrast. Makes it look a little cartoonish for me. So yeah, no to the green. So this is what you can do. That's the beauty of this whole technique is, like I said, is a very low risk. So, you know, if you're just starting out doing things like this. So no to the blue-green. I have white, of course. And I could do white. I just think white kind of competes too much with all my curly cues. And so I don't like white either. This is gonna be quick because I kind of know what I like and what I don't like. So I'm gonna take off that as well. And the nice thing is, if I do bump into one of the curly cues, it's easy enough to fix. So I'm not gonna sweat that too much right here. So no to the white, no to the blue-green, maybe to the gray. I pulled out gold, but gold, it's just the wrong color. So when I do that on my piece of paper, it just clashes with the white because this is more like an old gold color. So I'm saying no to gold. What else do I have? That's another white. And then finally, I have a Posca pen. This is glitter light blue. So I'm gonna try, I already know that I kind of like glitter white blue, but I wanted to see, let me do the other side of my Q-tip where I missed a spot. So just dunking it into my isopropyl alcohol. And I missed a spot right here. I just want to clean it up before I carry on. So this blue matches the blue in his coat. And if I do the line again, that's kind of drying. Let me go down here under his chin and just outline him. So it's all I'm doing is following the outline. And this has like a bit of sparkle because it's a metallic marker. I think it gives just enough color. So this will be a personal preference thing because you have this blue that makes a nice line, and I'll try to get you guys down closer so that you can see the depth. And there will be a video from start to finish at some point, hopefully next month, where I show you how I did the poodle, because it's quite easy and probably different from anything else you have seen on YouTube, because there's no transferring, there's no skins or anything of that nature. I think blue, that nice pop of color, is a little bit more fun than the gray. Let me put the gray beside it and we can compare. So I'm hoping you guys can see that little bit of blue. I'll drop you down before we make a final decision. Like under his chin, maybe I make it just like slightly wider, because I can cut into his chin a bit and put on a second coat so you can really see it. I can see it easy enough. So there's the blue, and then the gray. And we'll do the top part of his nose and face in the gray, and then I'll drop you guys down for a close-up. Yeah, I mean, the gray works. It totally works. Let me, I'm gonna turn off the camera a second and pop you down so you can see both. All right, I'm gonna try real hard to get the depth. So here's like the, I'm gonna go in focus. So here's the top of his head, and it just looks flat. And as soon as I add that line work, you get the depth, right, that I was talking about. So there's the metallic blue, and then there's the gray, and they both work. I just feel like I want it to be a little bit fun, so I think I'm going to go with the blue. So I'm just going to stand here now. I'm going to erase that gray and outline him in the blue. I'm not going to talk because I'll put it on speedy mode so it's not too long, and then we'll come back and take a look. All right, Mr. Doodles here is done. Mr. Poodle Doodles. He looks refreshed, back from the grooming salon,
looking amazing. This project turned out, it exceeded all my expectations. I've done before with smaller pieces. Now here's the good news. The whole purpose of doing this was to save a painting where the resin had yellowed, right? Here's the cool part. If I hang this up in the sun and just continue to let that resin yellow, all it's going to do is make my doodles, my swirlies, stand out even more. As it gets darker underneath, it's just going to improve this painting. It's going to age like fine wine and look amazing. I wanted to get you down. You can see the glimmer now of my outline with my metallic blue Posca pen here. I highly recommend that if you take this on and you're doing your outlining, do one pass with your marker and painting using a paint pen on a resin surface. It's quite slippery, so that when you go back the second time, that part that you outlined now has like a little bit of tooth, and the paint pen works better. The Posca pen, the Liquitex paint marker, whatever brand you like to use. And I don't think I'm going to get the depth to show up on film. But I'm telling you, if you were standing here in front of this, he looks like he's an inch deep into the paint, and then this is on top, and it looks really cool. And people always ask me, like, how did you do that? How did you get that layer? This is how. I'm going to put it probably a poll up too, so that when we do this from scratch and do it from the beginning, you guys can, I'll give you a couple options of either a profile face or maybe some other animal that we can do this from the beginning. I feel like I'm doing it backwards, but this is a great resin hack. I have another one for you guys down the road. And let me prop him up for a second. Oh, see, when I do that, you can see the bling from the marker, and hopefully some of the depth. Good grief, it's hard to get. Stay up there. Stay up there. Maybe if I go, whoops, a little sideways, it's super hard to capture on film. It's bumming me out. But there he is, Mr. Poodle Doodles. That was a hella fun project. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, my first Patreon video. Whoops. Bye, guys. Toodaloo.